Welcome back to TCM. I'm here with my dear colleague, Professor Patrick Jagoda, who is the director of the MAD Center and the Weston Game Lab. Thank you so much for being here, Patrick.
Thank you for having me.
So we're talking tonight about films that have important moments or incidental moments featuring games. And next up, we're going to be watching No Name on the Bullet from 1959, where there's an important game of chess that's played and discussion about chess. I see here in the Weston Game Lab that we have a chess set. There are a lot of games here. There's like a library of games that you keep here for students.
Yeah, we have about 500 board games and card games. It's probably too many, but we're constantly growing this collection. We also have video games behind the counter, video game consoles, so students can actually do research with games, believe it or not.
That's amazing. Well, the play that we have for our viewers tonight is finding games in these films and to think about what they mean. So in No Name on the Bullet, Audie Murphy plays a legendary hitman. He comes to a new town and everybody is freaking out because they don't know why he's there, who his target is. And there's a game of chess that he plays with the town doctor, Charles Drake. Tell us about the background of chess.
Yeah, this is one of the most elevated games of all time. I mean, it's considered to be one of the most popular games. An estimated 500 million people or so play this game on a regular basis. It's a game of strategy, of intelligence. It's a game of perfect information. And so both sides get to see every possible move. There's no chance. And so it's considered to be the kind of competitive game. And also for that reason, a lot of artificial intelligence testing has happened with chess. I mean, this goes back to 1948 when Alan Turing made his TuroChamp program, all the way through 1997 when, of course, an AI beat Garry Kasparov, the greatest player in the world at the time. And that in many ways led us to the contemporary AI revolution. But yeah, chess is an incredibly complicated game. So there are actually more possible games of chess than there are atoms in the known universe.
Is that right?
Yeah. And so no one's actually mathematically solved chess, but AI programs are able to predict moves so far in advance that no player, no grandmaster could possibly beat an AI, even one that you could get on your mobile phone.
Wow. Just that notion of mastery. I never really understood what that meant, but when you talk about this as a game with no risk, it really is all about strategy.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. It's very different from a game like poker.
Yeah, well, we're going to see an important game of chess in this film and conversation about chess, so let's take a look. Thank you, Patrick.
Of course.
From 1959, starring Audie Murphy and Charles Drake, here is No Name on the Bullet. Back with me to discuss No Name on the Bullet is my colleague, Professor Patrick Jagoda. You're a game designer, you're a scholar of games, so we're counting on you to tell us what you think about the use of chess in the plot of this film and what it tells us about the characters.
Yeah, this is a Western, but it's not really an action film. It's slow, it's contemplative, and there's a really important game of chess between John Gant, who's just come into town and is totally mysterious, and Luke Campfield, who's the doctor. And they have this strategic game in which they're having a conversation about mortality, about morality. And at the end of the game, the doctor concludes that this alleged killer actually has this other side, right? He says, you play an interesting game. And by that, he doesn't just mean a game of chess, he means his entire life philosophy.
That's right, yeah. And we think about the way that he uses the word game there. It almost seems for a moment that, Gant might think differently about the way that but then no, Gant is a killer, he's still a killer. And even though this is a moment when it seems as though the doctor sees some redeeming qualities, some human qualities in him, he's playing a different game than the doctor. He takes life away.
Yeah, at the end of the day, chess is still a game that has two sides. I mean, oftentimes it represents good and evil, this kind of binary distinction.
Yeah. In watching this film, I thought about all the guys in our neighborhood, Hyde Park, here at the University of Chicago, where they get together and play chess every day in the same spot, the ritualistic nature of chess, the regularity of gameplay.
There are these places, there are parks, there's a McDonald's where people play on a regular basis. Absolutely.
Yeah. How did you get interested in games?
I mean, I've always been interested in art, and games are one of the oldest art forms. And I just became fascinated in how many different places we see games. The stock market is a game. Elections are oftentimes covered as if they were competitive games. The military uses games to train soldiers or to treat PTSD, for instance, right? So we see games in all of these different places. And then when I was growing up, the video game industry started to take off. It's a $200 billion industry today. So it's larger than theatrical film, for instance. And just to put this in perspective, when Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, it made $1 billion in 3 days. This was the fastest selling work of entertainment in history up to that point. So I was just interested in why are people playing these games? What effect are they having on us? And I was also interested in play. Play is just such a quintessential human capacity and a path into freedom sometimes.
Do you find that students are interested in games like chess when they live in a world of digital and video games?
Surprisingly, yes. I mean, out there in the Weston Game Lab, we see students playing board games all the time, and sometimes quite complex and obscure games.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Patrick. It's been such a pleasure to be in this space with you talking about games in film.
Thank you so much.
We'll be back next week, but we're saying goodnight for now. But please stay with us because there are more classics coming up on TCM, always uncut and commercial free.
Next on TCM, The Apartment, then The Goodbye Girl, and later, The Devil Doll. TCM's got toys in the attic tonight.